It's another goofbag day in the world of Magic the Gathering. Wizards of the Coast has made multiple mistakes with Wilds of Eldraine that has led to not only confusion amongst the player base, but also has actually caused genuine problems for local game stores. And that's not even everything we're going to be talking about today.
Magic. I am a wizard! History. I'm an old wizard! The magic historian. My bones hurt.
Greetings, owners of fine luxury cardboard rectangles, my friends. I hope the day finds you well because we have gathered for a jam-packed installment of Mega Magic News. I've got my notepad here. We're doing a mixed bag. We've got good news and bad news, so it's not pure badness. Now, talking about good news, before we even get into everything, I've got a brand new sponsor that I absolutely need to tell you about. Paragon Monsters of Mayhem is the hot new fantasy indie TCG that you can also play as a tavern game. It's got awesome cards like this that let you pull the rug out from under your opponents. Follow their Kickstarter, and as a sweet add-on, you can visit Paragon's website to get a VIP pass that adds 3 bonus booster packs to your Kickstarter pledge. Use the links in the description to sign up now before all these powerful cards are Paragon. Get it? It's pretty sweet of Paragon to be sponsoring the video, I gotta say. So, we're going to start out by talking about the problems that are going on with Wilds of Eldraine, and then after that, we're going to move into some good magical times to end you off with a good taste in your mouth, alright? So, the first issue with the Wilds of Eldraine situation actually has to do with the spoilers and Wizards giving some very confusing images to us, okay? So, I'm going to put 2 different versions of the same card up on the screen. Take a look at this. This is the Sweet Tooth Witch, and this is a variation of a witch that we've seen in the earlier Throne of Eldraine, where it makes a food token when it comes into play. You sacrifice a food token to punish your opponents, but unlike the previous witch we saw in the past, this one doesn't tap, so you can actually feed a bunch of food into it. Now, what is key about this card is the 1-3 stats that are down in the corner. 1 power, 3 toughness. So, here's the other version that Wizards of the Coast has shown us. Both of these cards were spoiled by Wizards of the Coast. Both versions of this card, I should say. And when you take a look at it, you go, wait, so is she a 3-2 or is she a 1-3? Well, the 1-3 image was shown off during the initial spoiler showcase when they did their big Wilds of Eldraine announcement, whereas the 3-2 version has been put up in the official card gallery. Now, from the digging that I did, I couldn't find an official statement from Wizards of the Coast on this particular mistake. So, I believe what happened went like this. The original version was actually straight up, they took the Throne of Eldraine version, just tweaked it a little bit, and it was in there as a placeholder in early set design. Later down the road, they went, yo, black needs some boosting in a limited capacity, so let's tweak the stats on some of the common creatures that are kicking around. So Sweet Tooth grew a whole bunch more teeth to eat them sweets, and went all the way up to 3 toughness, but not 3 toughness, sorry, 3 power, only having 2 toughness now. And it's kind of funny how the new version can literally eat the old version. So this to me is totally a sign of what's going on with Wizards and their inability to keep up with everything they're trying to do, because this isn't the only inattentive situation surrounding Wilds of Eldraine. Honestly, this one isn't nearly as big a deal as the one we're going to talk about because it's an error that was just shown digitally, leading people, like there are posts online of people going, wait, I've seen both of these. Which is it? So as far as I'm concerned, it's going to be the 3-2 version. Now, the next thing we have to talk about is a multi-layered beast. So let me start out by talking about the announcement that Wizards made on the WPN to all of their WPN partners. So the WPN partners are local game stores of regular and premium level. they sent out a notification saying, your your Wilds of Eldraine promotional material shipment did not include your full allocation of Wild of Eldraine's commander party materials. Due to a logistical issue, about 3/4 of the play cards were held in our warehouse. This issue has now been corrected, and the remaining materials are headed to your store. We expect that these materials will arrive on or before September 8th. There's going to be a catch here after we get through all this. But anyways, we expect the materials will show up on or before the 8th, ahead of the Wilds of Eldraine Commander Party, which runs from September 15th to 17th. If you want to prepare ahead of your event or serve additional players, digital copies of the Commander Party materials will be available for download in the marketing materials section of the WPN website, and that will be available on September 1st. So, the shipment that you're going to get will include Wilds of Eldraine Commander Party play cards, the deck of 10 cards, your play aids, the sheets the decks sit on with instructions, and promo cards were included in your initial shipment alongside your other promo cards. Each set of play cards and a single play aid can support one pod of 4 commander players. We apologize for this logistical issue and any confusion it may have caused. If you have questions about either of your Wild of Eldraine promotional material shipments, please contact retail support. Now, I expect that they've actually got a lot more contact than this would initially let on, because this makes it sound like, okay, you know what? We've only sent out 25% of the promotional materials. The other 75% haven't made their way out. And this is kind of bog standard. But at the same time, I was just sent this image. Now, when you take a look at it, you can see there are a ton of promos here. If you're not familiar with the normal amount of promos that a regular level store would get, this is about 10 times the amount. So this picture comes from the game store Nerd Envy in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Sent me this image saying, yo, Wizards sent me 10 times the amount of promotional items. He even included, I'm not going to put this stuff up for you, but he included the initial packing sheets showing the amounts that he got. He corroborated all of this. So he's got 10 times the normal amount of promos, which on one hand is amazing for his store, because when he contacted Wizards and was like, yo, you guys overshipped me, and you know what? Points to him for actually doing that, because there are a bunch of store owners out there, not all of them because there are a bunch of good store owners, but there are some skis baggers who would go zip the lips, keep it all, bro, I'll just sell this online or whatever else. But this guy plays by the rules, so he contacts Wizards, says, yo, you guys gave me 10x of what I was supposed to get. And Wizards went, cool guy, no problem, here's how it works. Use those to give away your Eldraine events, and then if you don't give them all away during your Eldraine events, hang on to them until the next set release, and then you can just use them as promos for that. So, got to give Wizards respect in that regard, where they're not asking for the promos back. But here's where the problem comes in, friends. They only make a limited amount of these promos, right? So they don't have scads and scads. And when they're saying, yo, we've got all this stuff kicking around in our warehouse, do we? Do we really have it kicking around in the warehouse? Or has it, unbeknownst to us, actually been shipped out? So either a scenario where 25% of the promos and stuff like that have already actually been sent out, right? And if that's true, let's say that's actually correct. 25% has sent out, but they accidentally sent 10 times as much to these particular stores. So 25% of the promos have gone out, but only to 1/10 of the stores it would normally get to. So if all those words don't really put in your head what I'm saying is, by this store getting 10 times the promos, that means 9 other stores would get 0, because he got all the ones for 9 other stores. And Wizards doesn't print tons of these. This isn't like Modern Horizons or Lord of the Rings, where they go keep the printers churning. They have these printed however much in advance, because I don't know exactly how long it takes. It's got to be, I think, at least 3 months out for the printers. So there's literally no way for them to print promos in time for this event, right? And all of this stuff, it's all compounding. What's going on with Wizards of the Coast is you have a combination of effects that lead to this sort of stuff. You have one, Wizards is just creating more products than they've ever made in the past. It is a constant deluge. On top of regular releases, special Commander Masters, you've got secret layers, then you've got the special secret layers they're giving away at conventions, you've got all these different tiers of products that they're trying to make all at the same time, and because of what happened with Magic 30 and the fiasco of Hasbro's finances, Hasbro said, yo, we're trimming our workforce down by 15%. So you have fewer employees than ever dealing with more than ever. And you end up with this situation where they're literally broadcasting the wrong images. This kind of stuff absolutely should be caught if somebody's paying attention. It bleeds into the Magic lore where it literally looks like nobody is reading the stories. They just run it through a spell checker, and if there's no spell checker problems, just boom, ship it out and release it. You literally have the story where Hilda is using a crown she doesn't even have in her possession anymore. How can she use a crown that's literally in another realm of existence now, right? So there's just all these different tiers of messing it up on small levels, like with the image, and big levels. LGSs really matter. If you're not somebody who has an LGS, you don't know how this works. Disney knows how much LGSs matter. That's why Lorcana came in and was like, yo, what's up? We're going to give this stuff to stores weeks before you can get it at big box shops so that we can get a proper play environment going. And that's the right move. You need people coming in and playing. So you got a situation where Lorcana's coming in. They did a banger weekend leading up into this Eldraine stuff. Wizards needs to tighten up their game. They can't be screwing up and not hooking people up with the promos that they need. So I fully expect to see within the next week multiple stores coming out and being like, where are our promos? We don't have promos. They literally didn't ship us any promos. And I expect to see angry posts on Reddit going, my LGS owner's a scumbag. He didn't get into any of the promos, and he's telling me lies about how Wizards of the Coast, just didn't send it or whatever else, but I know he's keeping them. But for real, that's not going to be the case. I feel so bad for LGSs because they take the brunt of everything. Wizards discontinued MSRP. They went, MSRP isn't a thing anymore. So there are people out there who literally think that game stores pay the same price for Commander Masters and Wilds of Eldraine, and they just got super greedy with Commander Masters because they don't understand that Wizards of the Coast sells to the distributors, right? They sell at a certain point. The distributor marks it up, the retailer marks it up. So it's all based on Wizards' initial price. They're not giving a suggested retail price on the surface that we can all see. Instead, they're doing it submerged so that LGSs take the heat. And I, for one, am a huge fan of LGSs, and I hate seeing them get hosed. Now, let's move from bad news into some exciting stuff. Let's leave off on a good note. So the first fun piece of news I have for you right now is John Avon, who is a Magic artist, if you didn't know, who only paints lands. So he's only known for doing lands in Magic, and he does a banger job of it. So he's been used year after year to the point where there's literally a running joke in Magic that I love. Why does John Avon always lose at Magic the Gathering? The answer is he only draws lands. It's cheesy but great, right? So, John Avon, take a look at this. These are metal print of the unhinged basics. These are absolutely gorgeous, and they're on hardcore aluminum, and he is giving away 2 sets of these. And if you act right now, on the day that this video comes out, you can still get it in on the giveaway. I'm sure he's also selling them if you want to buy them, but there's a giveaway going on if you want to score them up, and they look gorgeous. The unhinged lands were beautiful, beautiful. That's not the only awesome thing that I have to show you. Let's take a look at the bonus card for the Angel's Secret Lair. Take a look at this Sigarda's Aid. The original Sigarda's Aid artwork I found to be pretty underwhelming. This, on the other hand, is super inviting. I dig it. And speaking of super inviting, they put one of my favorite cards into Throne of Eldraine in the special bonus set. Check it out. Season of Growth. Bro, this thing lets you scry and draw like a fiend. Especially in drafts, this card is so bonkers. And now with the aura tokens they're putting out there, this thing is a house, right? On top of that, I love the artwork. I just feel like this is like a gnome circus master, and he's just bringing in all these people. Come watch my show. I'ma make it grow. It's just, overall, I love every single aspect of this card. How could you not love it? And for real, this is a genuinely powerful effect. I'm surprised it's not a rare. So, wanted to end it off on a fun note with some fun magic. Hope you had a good time. Let me know what you think in the comments below on all of this, the good, the bad. I'm going to be live streaming over on my other channel, Hatcher, tonight. If you want to come by and talk about magic or whatever else, we have a pretty wild time. Last night, we played some insane Dead Man's Chest Hangman game. That was a really good time. I actually uploaded it over on the other channel if you want to check it out. So, thanks for coming by. Another big shout out to Paragon for supporting me by sponsoring this video, and a big shout out to my patrons for sponsoring and supporting all my videos. You guys are the best. All right, thanks for coming by. See you next time.